name is Mariah. You can find me on Instagram at Mariah Sincere. And I hope y'all don't mind me being comfortable right now because I feel like I need to get comfortable to talk about a very uncomfortable topic right now, which is dealing with a breakup, okay? I'm dealing with a breakup right now. And I know a lot of people are dealing with this, especially around the holiday season. And it can be hard, especially if you're used to spending the holidays with this person, or maybe y'all were in a new relationship and you were looking forward to spending the holidays with this person, but that's not going to be the case anymore. I'm here to talk to you all about dealing with this in the healthiest way possible. Quick disclaimer, I am not a relationship expert or a life coach, okay? I am a person who has been through a lot in life, and I have found a way to come out on the other side and not be bitter and get stronger with everything that I have been through. And because of that, I feel like I have some good advice to offer. With that said, this is not gonna be a video where I come on here and blame or bash my ex, because at the end of the day, I chose to be with that man, and I was with him because he had some qualities that to me were conducive to being with somebody in a long-term relationship. You know, I really liked him, you know, I really loved him, you know, and he also had some qualities that I didn't like. He also did some things that I did not like, and I had my ways too. Nobody's perfect. I guess the difference between him and me though was that I cared enough about the relationship and about him to try to work on my issues and meet him halfway about it. And for whatever reason, he just wasn't motivated enough to meet me halfway or do some things that I was asking him to do. You know, it felt one-sided. It felt like, you know, the more I gave, the less he gave. And, you know, a relationship can never work that way, you know, and it's okay that he did not want to put forth the effort. You know, I wish he would have just, one thing I would say is I wish he would have just let me know sooner so that we could have parted ways sooner. But at the same time, I chose to stay even though I was not getting what I needed to get. So I had to take my accountability and responsibility. And one thing that relationship solidified for me is that you cannot tell people how to treat you. You get to observe how they treat you, and then you get to decide whether or not you are going to accept it or you're going to move on. If you choose to stay and accept it, understand that the behavior is going to get worse and they are not going to treat you right because they don't respect you, because you're just accepting whatever from them. And if you leave, you know, it's gonna hurt, and you might get into relationship after relationship where you have to leave. So I don't know. I don't have any answers as far as that. All I do know is, you know, you can't expect better treatment when you're not requiring better treatment, and staying when somebody treats you bad is not requiring anything better than them. And that's all I got to say on that. And you know, people are not bad people just because the relationship didn't work out, or maybe they treated you poorly at times. You got to understand, people have been in relationships and situations in life before you. And a lot of times I found that even if somebody actually really did like you, they just don't know how to be in a relationship with you. And that's just keeping it all the way 100. Like, there are people who have been done dirty, their relationships before. So they have decided that going forward, they are going to do whatever they need to do to keep the upper hand in all of their relationships, okay? And because they've chosen to do that, they can't really emotionally give everything of themselves to you. There are people who have been through childhood trauma, and because of that, they don't know how to show affection, okay? It's a number of reasons why people cannot give all of themselves to you. Sometimes it's simply because you ain't what they want. That's okay too. So, you know, learning to be okay with that is something we're all gonna have to do. I have chosen not to date right now. at least for a time, until I feel comfortable. I don't know how long, just until I feel comfortable, until I feel like I can go out on a date with somebody else and not compare them to him or be thinking about the situation. You know, when I feel like I can really let go and just kind of enjoy myself. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but you know, I'm getting better every day, so I don't know, we'll see. I feel like that's the best thing to do, because a lot of the times, if you are able to jump right into another relationship after a breakup, that's not a good thing, okay? Either you really did not love that person, okay? You were infatuated with them at a very shallow level, or you're trying to use another person to numb your pain, which is not good for you or that person, okay? You might get with the person who you would not have otherwise given the time of day, because they're the opposite of the person you just broke up with. For example, if you were dealing with somebody who didn't have enough time for you and they were putting you on the back burner, you might get with somebody who has all the time for you in the world, but they're lazy. They don't do anything. Like, they literally do nothing with their life. All they have is time to be up under you and talk to you. And after a while, that kind of quality is going to be unattractive to you, because you're going to see, okay, this person has absolutely no goals. They're not even trying in life. You know, I'm pretty sure they don't have their own place to stay and their own things. It's not a situation you want to be in. Also, as a woman, I have learned that men can sniff out vulnerability in women. So I have told men who I have met within this past month, who otherwise would be viable options for me because they were attractive and they look like they had their stuff together, although you can never really know unless you spend time with the person. I have had to tell these men, like, hey, I'm not dating right now. I can give you my number, and maybe a few months from now, when I'm feeling better about my, and I'm over the breakup, we can, connect and see where it goes. But right now, I just want to get through this process, and I don't want any distractions. So I'll tell these men that, and they act like they understand, and then they're hitting me up that day. And if I don't take back, then they're blowing my phone up. And it's like, sir, I just met you. But I'm not flattered about it, because I understand that these men see an opportunity, okay? Because a lot of times with men, and this is not to talk bad about men, this is just reality. Upon first meeting a woman, they initially want sex, and they want sex as soon as possible. And, they may end up liking you and it becomes a relationship, but that's not the first thing that's on their mind, okay? So first thing a man hear when he hear you going through a breakup is, oh, she vulnerable, she might be feeling lonely one night, let me just wear her down and she'll eventually give in. Luckily, I already know that type of game, so, it's a no for me still. But a lot of women don't. So, I feel like both women and men, like, don't bring anybody into your mess, especially if you're not over a person. Some of y'all feel like, you might go back to that person. I've decided that this door is closed, but for a lot of y'all are still kind of working through that. So don't put anybody in that situation to also get hurt, because that person might actually really end up liking you and you can't reciprocate. And now you just brought somebody into your mess. Another thing that I've chosen to do is not do any excessive partying or excessive drinking. And, I'm not smoking weed or anything like that. I have had a couple drinks when I'm with my family members, like in social settings, but I'm not out here getting sloppy drunk, and I'm definitely not drinking by myself. If I start feeling sad or depressed, I allow myself to feel that. And I'll either journal about it or write or pray. Another thing is I've also chosen not to be angry and seek revenge. And I think that's one of the most important things. I think when we feel like we've been slighted in a relationship, you want that person to kind of get their karma, but that's not your job. And if you spend energy trying to wish that on them or bring that to them, if you feel like it's not happening fast enough, then you're just wasting your energy on somebody who, A, does not want you. B, does not want your energy. They don't want anything from you, good or bad. And C, you could be investing that energy into yourself and your own personal growth. So what I do though is I do pray for him, because at the end of the day, you know, I want him to go on and be a better man for another woman. Okay? It's lonely. It's lonely walking around here not being able to have a healthy relationship. I don't wish that on nobody. And through doing that, it's helping my healing process. You know, it's helping me being able to let go of the situation. It's helping me be able to let go of the situation so that I can be a whole and complete person for the man that God has for me. So that's basically all I want to come on here and talk to y'all about. You know, just to reiterate, if you're going through a breakup, the healthiest way to deal with it is to just not deal with other people. Don't be drinking and drugging and doing any excessive partying. And also, don't be resentful and do vengeful things to try to hurt that person. Okay? You're only slowing your own healing down if you engage in any of those things. And you're putting yourself in a bad situation. Going through it the healthy way is brutal. You guys, it hurts to feel your feelings, right? But at the same time, understand that healing is not linear, okay? Like, you'll have your days where you're really happy and you're killing it, and then you'll have your days where you're really sad about the situation. I think over time, though, the days where you're sad about it become less and less. And then, you know, eventually, because I've been through a breakup before, eventually you get to a point where you don't even want that person. You don't feel bad about it, like you don't hate them or dislike them, but you just realize why that situation wasn't gonna work out. They weren't the right person for you. And even if they come back, you know, not out of spite, but you just genuinely don't see them as a good fit, and you don't want that anymore. So, you know, you're gonna get over it. You just have to get through it.